today with us on Stool Talk, we're spotlighting a player athlete, one whose game is going to the next level, one who puts in the work. She works hard on and off the court. Great shooter, a great team player, one who is just elevating among her skill level with her players, with her teammates in the area, and she's putting in all the hard work. So today we're going to be spotlighting her. Today we have with us the one and only Mrs. Aubrey Tucholski. How you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I want to say congratulations on your hard work, and just all the effort and all the extra amount of hard work you've been putting in on the court. Where did this basketball journey begin for you? What age were you when you first picked up a ball?
Well, I first started playing around fifth or sixth grade. I just did like the simple like rec league through Tam O'Shanter and stuff. And then my school offered basketball in seventh and eighth grade, and I started playing for them. And then I think it was eighth grade year, I did my first season AAU, and I really liked that. And so then I started like working more towards high school level, and I did it my ninth grade year and then my 10th grade year, and I did AAU with Coach Nikki
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a
What
year.
what does Coach Nikki mean to you, and what has she taught you?
Coach Nikki is one of my like all-time favorite coaches, and she just really like builds your confidence level and helps you become the best basketball player you can possibly be. She helps you reach your potential, and she offers like a bunch of extra if you want to stay after and shoot more, if you want to do training sessions with her. So she's very like helpful in that way.
What makes you want to stay and get extra shots or work on your game versus and leave and hurry up and go home?
I think for me that like one of the best things like when I play personally, it is heavily on like my confidence level, and so I like to see when my extra trainings and stuff implement in the game, and I can see that hey, all the extra shooting I've been doing really is like impacting the way I play.
Yeah, what does hard work mean to you? Because it seems like you very, very hard work. You're a very hard working player. So what does hard work mean to you?
Hard work for me is just working even when you're exhausted, and it's looking at the stuff you need to focus on and making sure that that's your main priority. And it's just like striving to improve it through your workout. So really pushing in that area.
Yeah. What do you love most about basketball?
Um, I think I it gives me something to like push for and work towards, and it's like interesting to see what I do in training and how it like will route like turn out in the game.
Yeah, yeah. What would you say to a player that might be down on herself, maybe after a missed shot, a bad pass, a turnover, or just not having a good game, and you see her head kind of down? What would you say to her?
I mean, I can like relate to that because I think I get in my head a lot when I'm playing or if I do something bad. It's hard to me get for me to get out of that headspace. So I would just say what I would want to hear. Like, hey, you can always make it up. Like next play, the name of the
Yeah.
AU team, just focus on what you have in front of you and don't let it get to you because you might have missed a layup or something, but you could get back, get a steal, and make that point up. Like there's always going to be something ahead of you have to work towards.
Yeah, I like how you did with the wordplay, next play, describing what you was talking about. That's awesome. I like that. Yeah, that's awesome. Why do you feel like you get down? You're a shooter. You just like at next shot, or do you be like, man, you want to make all of them?
I'm pretty hard on myself. I really want to make like every shot I take, but obviously that's not always going to happen. So I just have
Yeah.
to remind myself that even if I'm not the best shooter in a game or if my shot's off, I can work hard in other areas. Like I could be the best defender out there, or I could hustle more, or I could bring it up as a point guard because
Yeah.
there's always different things you can do.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. That shows that you versatile and that shows that you're a great team player. What are some of your strengths as a basketball player?
I think I'm a good shooter. I, as I said earlier, but I like to I communicate a lot on defense and offense, and I help control like the tempo of the game. And it's not my favorite thing to do, but I'll run point guard and help set people up for plays and like, hey, direct people like, hey, you need to go over here, or like vice versa.
Yeah, so would you say you're a verbal leader and you lead by your play?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Can you share a memorable time this season or in the past, a memorable game, a memorable couple plays, or just a memorable time for the people that's watching?
My most memorable game, and it was probably my best game I've ever played. It was one game in a tournament we went to with Coach Nikki last season for AAU. I had scored the most points like I've ever scored in a game. I had 27, and I was 7 for 9 at the 3-point line, which is something I just like have been really working towards as being a consistent shooter. And it was just like a great game because yeah, I scored a bunch, but I also got to see all the hard work I put in like be reflected on my game.
Yeah, and that's what I heard about the seven 3-pointer game as well. Can you recall? I know that you done hit a lot of shots. Do you know the two you missed? Did they go in and out, or was they just like? Do you remember them too?
I honestly, I don't remember them, but I think that also says something like if you have a bad game, you're not going to remember every shot you miss. So just
Yeah.
keep working towards it.
Yeah. How do you balance academics, being student athlete, still hanging out with your friends, still finding time for yourself, and still going to practice by playing games?
Yeah, it was hard to find a balance at first because I'm a very academically focused person, and that's like one of my main priorities is I like to have good grades, but I also want to do well in basketball and friends. So the balance is you just have to like set times. You have to set goals for yourself and what you want to accomplish in like certain amounts of time. So for shooting for me was the main priority. So I'd like talk to my head coaches at my school and I would go shoot in the mornings and stuff. So that gets like daily training out of the way. And then when I come home, focus on homework, get it done, and then like save weekends for your friends, but still I could go to the gym and shoot for like an hour and a half just to make sure
Yeah.
I get like my time in.
Yeah. What you think sets you apart among different players?
I think I like to think I'm a good leader. I am very like helpful for my teammates. I talk a lot, and I think when we're in a slump, I can help my team get out of it. Like if we're really struggling in a game, I can help bring up the mood with like either making a shot or making an important play. I think that's what sets me apart.
Yeah, so it seems to me that your team counts on you and you know it, and you're always going to be there when they count on you, making the difficult plays, making the plays that's necessary to do what y'all, need at that time in that moment. Um, can you describe the camaraderie of your team? Are y'all fun? Are y'all serious? Are y'all focused? Like,
I think it's gonna be a really fun team. It's a little new right now because we're all coming from like different schools, but I can tell that we're gonna have like a good chemistry just by the way our first tournament went. And I'm really excited to like see what we build off of it. But I think we're gonna definitely like focus more and because a lot of my team already like after the couple practices has stayed after and shot. And so I like to see that like everyone's like working towards like everyone wants to win this season.
yeah, yeah. What advice could you give a younger basketball player who's, want to play, who's interested in playing, and might not know how it's gonna pan out, or they just, is curious, but they like basketball. What advice would you be able to give to them?
I would say definitely just try it out. Like nothing could, the worst that's going to happen is you don't like it. And if you do end up really liking it, you're going to have to make it a priority. So just finding like coaches that work for you or trying out different teams or even doing the rec league like I did just to help build your confidence and find what you really like. That's the advice I would give to.
Yeah. And what would you say to an athlete that might be losing focus and might be hanging around the wrong type of people, the wrong friends? What would you say to that athlete?
I would say that in that moment, then hanging with those people that are like bad influence, it might seem like the right answer, but in the long run, athletics can teach you so much more than just how to become a good player. It can teach you how to build yourself up, how to like talk to people, how to handle like failure. And in the long run, that's going to help you be way more successful than hanging out with people that are like a bad influence to you right now.
Yeah. Well, who are some people that you look up to versus high school students and maybe college or maybe NBA or WNBA players? What's a couple people or a couple names of athletes who you look up to?
That's, I have to think about that. But like not necessarily an athlete, but I look up to my parents a lot because
Okay.
they're always like striving for me to do the best that I can, and they've helped me like supporting like paying for my AU or extra trainings. They've like rebounded for me and stuff, and it's really like impacted my game because it makes me want to be there more and like do more stuff and continue
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah, yeah. So that family means a lot to you, that support,
Mhm.
wanting to do good, to show them that, what they're investing in you, the love, the extra timing, the energy, catching. Because if you
Yeah.
shooter, I know they got to keep running, get the ball out the net because you're knocking
Mhm.
the ball down. So, that's good. And that's a blessing to have your family,
Yeah.
there to support you, your family and your teammates. A couple more questions, we get you up out of here. What are your goals this year, or what are your goals in the upcoming future dealing with basketball?
So I would like to play all 4 years on, well, not all 4 years, just like I want to play basketball every single year in my high school. And then I probably don't want to play college, but I still want to focus on like athletics
Oh,
area. But I definitely want to play on my varsity team. And I just want to have an impactful role mainly. So whether it's like shooting or being a leader, and I really want to focus on being consistent in whatever I do.
yeah, I love that. You can tell that you have great family and they have imparted, great knowledge, wisdom, and love inside of you because you talk about your team, you talk about impact, you talked about making a difference, and that's all the things that a program needs. That's all the things that athletes need, and you are, portraying it, you are demonstrating it, and being that athlete. What approach will you take this year going into the league, being that people might know you from being a good shooter in last year's tournament and last year's game? Will that affect you, or are you just gonna go out there with the same mindset that, I gotta play the best no matter what?
I mean, I would just go out there with the same mindset because if I like if I want to be a good shooter, then I'm going to be a good shooter and I could like build off of that and it might differ how they guard me or something. They may guard me closer, but that from there I can just do different moves like a shot fake pull up. So I think I would just go on with like the same mindset.
Yeah, yeah. And lastly, before we let you go, whatever comes to your heart, can you speak to the young athletes that's up and coming, that's trying to get in the spot that you are in?
Um what being a good shooter or being good at anything doesn't come easy. Like not most things aren't handed to you and you're gonna have to work for it. And it may seem like at times that you just want to stop, but it's so worth it in the end. And it helps you with so many more things like working towards it's not just athletics. It can help you want to become a better student or a better like sibling or a better friend. And I would just say that if you want to be a good athlete, just make it a priority, focus, do trainings, and you'll see it in the game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we thank you for joining us and allowing us to spotlight you for your great character, your great athleticism, your great character, even in school as well. But being an athlete that cares, being an athlete that's putting forth the work. Here on Stool Talk, we walk in our purpose on purpose, and that's definitely what you're doing. And we just want to tell you, continue to work hard, continue to go after all your dreams. Sky is the limit. Don't let no one push you down, don't let no one get you down, or tell you that there's anything that you can't do. And keep on leading your team and being that great leader that you is. Whether you playing the two or one, be impactful and know confidence is key. You got it, Aubrey. You were made for a time like this.
Thank
So you
you.
go out, dominate, go out. Just thank you.
Yeah, thank you.